Hey everyone, this is Disc Junkie. It's been a while since I said that. At least it feels like it. So, back today for another, you might have guessed it, unboxing video. How off is my camera angle here? Should I tilt this or should I tilt it the other way? It is actually a little off. God, I'm such a ridiculous man when it comes to perfection. Why would anybody in their right mind be watching this? Adjust the fucking angle. Now you see, I got clothes off to the side there. Now there's clothes on that side. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know why I didn't prepare this better. Probably because this room is too small. Hey everyone, this is Disc Junkie. Even if you might not recognize me, based on the hairline, I've actually started growing a new haircut. But anyway, it's unboxing time, and have my trusty unboxing knife as usual. Ooh, that didn't take. Let's do that again. Ah, it's getting a bit so-and-so, but then again, this was always a cheap-ass bootleg, which people keep commenting on. I don't know why, because the whole idea behind this purchase was that I wanted to get something movie accurate. Yes, this is an identical found prop from The Dark Knight, follow-up to Batman Begins. And this is the exact same model of knife used by the Joker in several key scenes. Yes, it is a cheap-ass bootleg, but it is the exact same model. But anyway, I received a package today, handled with care, and this is from one of my subscribers. His name is Terrence. That's all I'm gonna say about that. He wanted to remain somewhat anonymous, or well, maybe not anonymous, but he doesn't want any praise or anything. He just said that he wanted to send me something as a gift and as a surprise. Just as a thank you, late birthday present, whatever. You know, he said that he had some VHS tapes that he didn't need anymore. I felt that, you know, it might be fun for me to receive them, and so. And, you know, even though he didn't ask for any unboxing video, I decided that I wanted to make one, because I think it is, you know, I don't always make the best kind of unboxings in my mind. I think that sometimes I make a video and I feel like, okay, that didn't, I'm sort of, you get worried, like, you know, will people, like if somebody sends me something, there's always a bit of a, I don't know what you'd say, like you feel a bit guilty as to, like, you know, you have to perform and you have to sort of deliver like this, ooh, I get a present. That's sort of one of the things when you make unboxing videos. You sort of have to let go of that, because otherwise it's not gonna work. And I'm, you know, if somebody sells me something and, you know, I don't sell it in terms of the reaction and whatnot, then, you know, I'm sorry if you feel that it's not worth it. But I'm just me, and like everyone else who gets a present for their birthday, or, you know, any normal person, I would say, who gets a present for their birthday or whatever, you know, if it's something you don't like, it's always gonna be like, ooh, thank you for the whatever it is that you don't want. The sweater. Thanks, Grandma. You know, there's always gonna be the risk of that sort of awkward feeling. But I mean, I do this for fun, and if you enjoy watching these videos, then I'm happy to make them for you. Let's just see what is sent. Oh, there's a note. There's a note. There seems to be quite a bit of stuff in here. Wow, he actually went through. Like. It looks. I love this, because it looks like he put like a lot of thought into this. It's like very, very nicely. I don't know, he feels like a graphics kind of guy, you know, just speaking from my own experience. To comment that you have a very, very good handwriting. I love the iconography of your handwriting. I'm just saying this because I think it's interesting that personally, you know, when I was growing up, you know, I drew stuff. You know, my handwriting is terrible in terms of, you know, I can never really find the, so, you know, sort of flow. I was always terrible when it came to like the, I think they just call it handwriting, yeah, like, you know, you write with the, you know, not the block letters. You just do like the flowing motion thing. I was always crappy at that, and I hardly ever do that. I do sort of like a block letters or like very sort of scribbly stuff. My handwriting is the worst. People tend to tell me, wow, I didn't know you were like so awesome at making like, you know, little figures or whatever. This sort of reminded me of, you know, he has a very sort of specific way of writing, which I think is cool. Reminded me of myself, like when I actually have to do something, write something important, I always like, oh, you know, every letter needs to be like perfect, and you like really work through it. Now, I always read the notes last, because I don't want any spoilers, you know, and even if it's spoiler free, I'm just gonna keep this for now and just go through the things to get like the full experience of the surprise. So, right off the bat, we have, I don't know what that expression means, but yeah. First thing, I'm just looking at the back of something here. Oh, is this Texas Chainsaw? It is! Oh wow, look at this. This is lovely. I don't think I've ever seen this figure, which is surprising, because even though I'm not a major like figure collector in terms of Texas Chainsaw, you know, I do like TCM figures. It's just that, you know, my collecting has always sort of been focused around media and getting like, you know, VHS, DVD, Blu-ray formats. That's sort of what started the whole thing. Plus I'm very into the whole packaging design element. But at the same time, like, you know, if you get figures as part of boxes and stuff, I think it's awesome. I do keep an interest because it is Texas Chainsaw, and this is apparently a figure from Horror Headliners, a figure series I personally have not encountered. I was sort of looking for like a date on this. Copyright 2000, so this is a figure from 2000, and it's obviously Leatherface. See if we can, I don't know if it's focusing okay there, but hopefully you can see what it looks like. And also it appears to be superposable, right? So getting off to a really wicked start. Now, see what we have in terms of tapes. Ooh, I can see this title. This is a really good title in terms of the movie. I think it's a really cult classic film. I think this cheap-ass bootleg knife of mine seems to be maybe a bit too weak for this purpose. I don't know, might have to switch over to getting a piece of scissor. Piece, did you say piece of scissor? I don't know. Okay, so here's the first tape. This is a great film. I've actually never seen this particular copy or VHS version, but it is the cult classic, The Wicker Man. It took me quite a long time before I actually watched this, because, you know, I was never too much into horror when I was younger. But I love this movie. I think it's a really cult classic. I have also seen the hilarious, I'm sorry, but it's just such a weird contrast watching the Nicolas Cage remake versus the original. They're so different films. It's like, I don't understand what they did, but that film does not work in Nicolas Cage's favor. I'm sorry, it's totally bizarre. Seems to be an American release from 1994, as far as I can tell. So, great choice. And I also like receiving these alternative titles from America, because you have the paper style sleeves, which are very sort of, you know, fit and small, like everyday stuff to you. But to me, as a European collector, I guess, I think that the big ass plastic clamshells, which, you know, might be exclusive to you, they are sort of everyday stuff for us. So I love the fact that, you know, every now and then I pick up an American title, and then I can sort of get these small, because I then have like smaller shelves where I can only fit the really, really small clamshell, like the retail clamshell, or these American ones. So I love getting alternate cover designs and stuff in smaller size, because it fills a purpose. Alright, next movie in the box is a film which I don't think I've ever heard of, but that is a nice cover. It's a film called The Invincible 6. And I'm hoping there's nothing X-rated on here. It's a bit saucy, I guess. How is the lighting on this? There we go. Invincible 6. Oh, it's copyright 1984 Continental Video. Oh, it actually says unauthorized reproduction, blah blah blah. It's prohibited under Canadian federal law. So, I'm guessing this is a Canadian release then. There's a total of 4 tapes in here. So 2 more. just as well packaged as the rest. Ooh, this is also a true classic. It's a film called The Changeling. Always a bit difficult to pronounce that. Sort of a weird word. I have watched this. I mean, I watched the movie. It was a while ago, but yeah, that is definitely a great choice. It's a very cool, classic horror film. It is from HBO Video, as far as I can tell. So another Canadian. It's really interesting to receive Canadian releases, because a lot of the time I don't know too much about Canadian releases. I mean, usually when you go out hunting for Texas Chainsaw or whatever, it's usually like the American releases that you find the easiest. It can be a bit more difficult to specifically search for the Canadian versions, so to speak, because they quite often get sort of lumped in together with American ones, and a lot of the time they have sort of, you know, similar covers, and it can be sort of just a question about looking like on the back cover to sort of tell which one is which. So interesting to get some Canadian ones. And now let's see what the last one is. Just get this out. What is it? Wow. Oh wow, that is interesting. This is a new film for me. I recognize the title, but this is Francis Ford Coppola's Dementia 13. And great looking cover, by the way. Look at that, that is beautiful. Apparently this is Coppola's first feature film, and I have not seen this, and you know, people might be like, boo, why haven't you? You know, I love getting into like watching these classic horror films, but you know, I'm somewhat lazy and might not have all the time in the world to do it. But I am very interested, and I do like checking out true classics like Psycho or, you know, whatever it is. And this is apparently a movie from 1963. And I mean, Francis Ford Coppola, obviously, very great filmmaker. And it's copyrighted 1985. I'm always a bit surprised that even like the really old tapes from like the 80s, like they're always in this paper quality. I always get like, it always feels a bit weird to me. I always expect like, well, the really old movies, they gotta be in clamshells, right? But no, they're just in paper sleeves, like most everything else in Canada and America. Wow, this is really bizarre. I was just looking at the tape, and I noticed that, you know, this is released by a company called Good Times Home Video. This is really odd to me. I noticed that the only label that it actually has the generic label, which just says Good Times Movie Classic. I mean, it's obviously an official label, but as you can tell, it's a generically printed label, and then it's just scribbled on by someone, Dementia 13. That is really weird. I don't think I've ever seen official distribution label which is actually printed that way and then has the title like handwritten. That is crazy. I wonder how rare, if this is like a... I don't care if it's a collectible or not, because, you know, to me it means the world to receive these quirky gifts, and, you know, to be, you know, because that's the thing about collecting VHS. You get to experience and you get to find these little gems which you probably would have never discovered otherwise. I mean, I can, you know, today you can go online and you can stream movies and whatnot. And I love Netflix and I love like all of these streaming services, but the thing that still drives me to go to like flea markets and look for videotapes and the love of movies and yada yada, I think that's somewhat lost with DVDs today. You know, you get the broad span and whatnot, but with VHS, for one thing, it's very cheap. You can go to flea markets and stuff, and you know, and you find these things which are like things you would never have thought of. Just the same here, like, you know, even though I've heard about this title, I doubt it's one I would have sort of, you know, sort of picked up. Plus, it might not be like the major cult classic that gets picked up to Netflix or you know, other streaming services. So in that instance, I might never get to see it because I might not have the energy to sort of go out and look and feel like, oh, okay, somebody mentioned that, you know, that's what I want. But this way, you know, whether, you know, I get it sent to me or I find it at a flea market in a bin somewhere for, you know, $1 or less, you know, you can find these sort of hidden treasures, and, you know, a lot of the time you get crap. But every now and then you stumble upon a movie like that's a total classic that you would never thought about to, you know, go look for or look into. And that's why I'm so in love with the video format right now, because it gives me this natural way to discover films which I would never have discovered otherwise. But that is a fabulous little pile, absolutely digging everything. So now I'm just gonna give a little quick read this lovely little card. It's actually, do you hear that? That is quality right there. Hello from Canada. Here we go. 4 VHS tapes for you. While I was cleaning out the garage, I came across these and I thought that out of anyone, you might be the one to get a kick out of these. I don't know how rare they are or if you've seen them at all. The Changeling is, to me at least, a Canadian horror classic. Shoot me an email after you've had the chance to check them out. I would love to hear your thoughts. I love the channel and I'm a huge TCM fan as well. Well, thank you. It really does mean a lot to me, and I never say this enough, but you know, if you have positive things to say to someone, whether it's to me or to someone else who makes videos on YouTube, I don't care if the person is like, you know, the biggest YouTube celebrity ever, or just like me, like some random guy who makes videos for fun and doesn't have the you know, the major pressure of having 1 million subscribers or whatever. Whoever it is, make an effort to tell them that you like their work. And I mean, people expect me to be like this guy who gets fan mail all the time, which I don't understand, because seriously, I'm not that big of a YouTube star. Especially these days, you know, I've really made a total decline in popularity, which I'm fine about. I'm just saying that, you know, because I do this myself, it's like when you look at a YouTube clip from someone who has a lot of followers, who has a lot of views, you sort of instantly think, even if it's just someone who has more views than you do, and you sort of think like, well, he has 500 or he has 1 million or whatever it is, the number's not important. But when you see someone who has, you know, in your consideration, like a lot of views or a lot of likes or whatever, you sort of get like this instant idea that, you know, oh, well, I'm sure that guy gets like a ton of fan mail and he has like 5 assistants reading his emails. But in my experience, and I'm not talking about the fact that I don't have people reading my emails, I'm just saying that from my experience, if you actually contact people, whether they're like major, you know, YouTube celebrities, or if it's, you know, we're talking about people like directors who make movies, whether it's indie people or actually, you know, big names in Hollywood, I think you should always make an effort to tell people that you appreciate what they do, because it's very easy to just assume that people hear this every day, like it's something that they don't even care about. But I mean, people tend to tell me, like, I don't know, there's always this tone when people, sometimes when people write me emails and stuff, it's like, you know, it's like people don't really expect you to respond. Like when you actually write an email back to someone saying like, oh, that's really lovely of you to say that you actually like my videos. I just love hearing stuff like that, because it's, you know, people, you know, thank you. And people will be like, wow, I'm so amazed that you even responded to this. It's so weird. Because, you know, people sort of have this built-in instinct, like, you know, why doesn't it matter what I say? Why should I make the effort to write someone an email? It's not like they are gonna read it. You'd be surprised. And a lot of the time, I mean, I've written email to some people who I never expected them to write anything back. And several times you actually get a response from someone, like a director who actually made a movie, even if it's an indie film, but sometimes I'm like oh my god, it's like total, like, you know, you get starstruck because surprisingly enough, people actually read the emails or the messages that you send, and you're like, oh my god, that's so amazing. Just putting that out there. If you like somebody's work, tell them. So yeah, talking too much all the time. So yeah, love the channel, and I'm a huge TCM fan as well. The original was the first film to scare the shit out of me when I first saw it all those years ago. I included a Leatherface toy for you as well, to add to your collection. I'm sort of getting more and more interested in toys, because even though I'm not a guy who keeps toys sealed, and I'm like the whole, oh, you know, don't want to open the toy box because gotta keep stuff sealed, I'm finding that, you know, even though I don't look at them with the same sort of collectible aspect, in the sense that I want to keep them on the shelf. I'm finding that, you know, it's awesome to get TCM toys, because I love having items which I can actually display like wherever, like, you know, in my car or on my dashboard or on the windowsill or, you know, wherever, and don't really think about the fact that it, you know, it has to be like, oh, this prized collectible that has to be sealed and kept the way it is. And because, you know, if you get a toy like this, it can be sort of hard to, oh yeah, I'm gonna put this on the shelves. But seeing as I'm not like this major toy aficionado, I can actually just wrap this open and use the toy as a fun display, you know, somewhere, like a gimmicky thing. It doesn't have to be like this prized thing. So I'm pretty sure I will definitely open this and put it somewhere fun, like, yeah, maybe in the car. It's always a good place for figures. Alright, don't worry too much about doing a channel spotlight for me. Alright, yeah. A simple unboxing vid will be good, but no pressure. It's a gift from one YouTuber to another, and then it's signed by, God, I can't read it, Comickkrakk. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but yeah, very nice text on the... I like your writing skills. It reminds me of myself, how I like to design notes and letters. So that's it. That's the entire high quality note. And that is the entire unboxing, and this was fantastic. There are all the tapes: Dementia 13, The Changeling, Invincible 6, and The Wicker Man. And of course, the horror headliners Texas Chainsaw Massacre figure. Wow, that's fantastic. Just an awesome set of stuff. Really means a lot. Thank you again, Comickkrakk, or how you want to pronounce that. But that's it. Really hope you enjoyed this little unboxing video, and as usual, I don't know what I'm doing with my arms. There we go. Alright. Thank you very much for watching, and as usual, I hope to see you all next time.